A news conference is underway at William B. Green Jr. Stadium to announce the future of ETSU football.
Yeah, let's take a live look right now.
Dr. Nolan, I'm very interested in your answer to the question. And after answering the question, he looked at me and he said, then you're going to let me build this program the right way. And he went on to talk about being a part of institutions in which he'd adjusted culture, changed culture, tried to adopt a culture. But he'd never in his career had the opportunity to build a culture from the ground up. And on behalf of our university and our board of trustees, I want to thank Coach for what he has done to build everything around us. When he accepted the job as our head football coach, we had one football, and it was one that Dr. Sander and I tossed around. Everything about this program he built. He played a visionary role in the stadium. He recruited every coach to this institution. He recruited every single student athlete, many of whom have graduated and many of whom will graduate this year. I have been extremely honored and humbled by the opportunity to work with this individual. He has provided great vision for our institution, and on behalf of the institution and our Board of Trustees, Coach, thank you for what you have done, and thank you for what you will do for this institution. We are here today because of the leadership, the vision, the dedication, the courage, the commitment, and the ethics of Coach Torbush. Now, I was going to save this for later, but I can't help myself. There are many things that will come from today, but one of the positives from today is that the university's styrofoam budget will significantly be reduced. So, Coach, all kidding aside, it has been, and it is, an honor to work with you, and it's my pleasure to welcome to the podium the head football coach of East Tennessee State University, Coach Torbush.
I had my speech. I tell you what, I'm going to have an offer plate at that exit and an offer plate at that exit, so anybody that would like to share in that, feel free to do so. But honestly, I had my little speech and everything, but I don't need a speech to say what I need to say about my time here at ETSU. And kind of like I told the football team earlier, Dr. Nolan, that I'm retiring, I'm not dead. And so as long as I'm still here and, and I'm still involved with the football program until we name a new head coach, which I'm sure Scott Carter will get into a little bit later on, we're going to try to do things right. I'll give you my little speech. At the end of the year, I let our players talk about, without writing their name in, it's a box that they put it in. So the last thing I put on there, which is really dangerous, what do you think about Coach Torbush and how he runs the football program? Without a doubt, the most overwhelming characteristic was way too old school. Well, what does way too old school mean? It means saying yes sir, no sir. Yes ma'am, no ma'am. It means take your hat off when you're going in the house. It means opening the door for a woman. It means wearing your pants where it's supposed to be. When you're representing ETSU, represent ETSU as if you were representing yourself in a job interview every time that you're interviewed. But again, today is, it could be a sad day, but it's not. Somebody asked me, why am I doing this now? It's time. I hate to admit it, I'm 66 years old. If I was here 5 more years, I can count pretty good. That's 72, isn't it? That's ETSU, man. But I don't want to be 72 and coaching football. I want to be able to enjoy football. I want to be able to enjoy some of the other things in life. When I came here, somebody, I remember, Matt, are you here, Matt Wilson?
Right.
He's the first guy I talked to. This is before they decided to start a football program. He called me and asked me if they started football, would you have an interest? Well, I didn't know Matt at all, but I knew about ETSU. And after I got through venting to him for about 15 minutes on why I felt like they should have not dropped the program to start with, then we got to talk. And soon after that, and I can go in a lot of detail, ETSU was looking for a football coach, and one of my closest friends was basically in the running for being the head football coach. And because of that, you know, I didn't feel like it was proper for me to call up here and let them know that I'd be interested in this job. But good Lord willing, I got a favorite Bible verse, Jeremiah 29:11-13. For I know the plans for you declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. Basically, out of the clear blue, I get a phone call from Philip Foreman. I want to know if I'd have an interest in being the head football coach at ETSU. Well, at that time, I was living on Douglas Lake, retired. You know, I found out a long time ago, if you retire, you don't have to ask many questions. You don't have to answer many questions. If you quit or get fired, you got to answer a lot of questions. So anyway, I'm on the lake, and I think I'm retired, but my wife, who used to be the plumber, electrician, and the janitor, decided that I need to have all those jobs, and all of a sudden I'm not getting paid to do those jobs. So I felt like when Coach Former called, that was kind of a godsend, calling to me, and after talking to her, then the excitement that I have about representing ETSU, representing East Tennessee, representing the people in this area, representing something that I felt very, very special that could go a long way, then I did decide to say I do. And from that point on, from Dr. Sander and Matt McGahee, meeting me at the Cracker Barrel, which I did have a styrofoam plate, by the way. But from that visit there, it was a whirlwind. And obviously becoming the head football coach at ETSU was a thrill. And I mean, I've been to a lot of big places and a lot of big atmospheres, but none more so where I felt my heart was in to helping build this program. The thing I was excited about was trying to help young men grow academically, athletically, socially, and spiritually. And I know Dr. Nolan probably doesn't want me to say this, but my last speech to the players: go to class, do your work. Go to class, do your work. If you do those two things, I will promise you, you will get a degree from college. Period. End of discussion. So that was my last talk to them going out the door. Socially, make your family proud, make yourself proud, make this university proud, and do things right, that when they see you and see ETSU, they put it together and realize that we are developing a great, great product. But when I talk about my time here, I mean, I could go in, I mean, some of those pictures are the best pictures. As a matter of fact, I didn't realize how gray-headed I was. I need to get some shoe dye, Doc. But just to see, and I hadn't had time to sit back and look at it, but from the first time I came here.
That was a live news conference at East Tennessee State University. Head football coach Carl Torbush has just announced his retirement.
He's retired, but he's not dead. We first told you last night News Channel 11 Sports Director Kenny Hawkins learned ETSU offered Torbush a contract extension, but the 66-year-old declined the offer. ETSU hired Torbush back in 2013 to oversee restarting that program. He says he's still alive and kicking, but he wants to retire right now.
Step away from football. And now to give you a little background on the styrofoam comments, Coach Torbush is legendary for his appetite, and no matter what the buffet, he always grabs a to-go box and heads out the door. So that's what that was all about. Real quick.